Don't take your dog hiking without these essential items. These items will make your life easier, your walk more enjoyable, and both you and your dog safer. In this video, I'm going to tell you about the 6 items that you actually need when you take your dog hiking. So if you're like me, you may have found yourself in a position in the past where you haven't got all the equipment you need, but I've been there, I've done that, I've made all the mistakes and learnt my lesson. So I'm going to tell you the essential items you need so that you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. I'm not going to tell you about the obvious things you'll need to take with you, like a lead and food and water. I'm going to tell you about the things you might not have thought of. So in no particular order, here they are. First of all is a carrier for your used poo bags. Picking up dog poo is a daily responsibility of having a dog, but when you're on a hike it can be a bit awkward because you usually have nowhere to put it. As you would usually, you still need to pick it up and dispose of it suitably, and you're probably not going to find any bins up the mountain. Now you don't want to put a used poo bag in your backpack with your food, drinks and clothing, which is why a carrier is an essential item. This carrier is from a company called Dicky Bag, and for this large carrier it's around 35 quid plus postage. In my opinion this is quite pricey, and I think a lard is probably bigger than I need, but other products are just attachments to your lead that the poo bag is hanging from. My personal preference is that I don't really want a loose poo bag slapping against me as I'm walking, and I definitely don't want to risk sitting on it or squashing it when I take a break, which is why this has made it to the list. Number 2 on the list is a tick remover. A tick remover is on my list because if they're not found early enough, it can lead to infection, can be really uncomfortable for your dog. So Moses has had ticks in the past when we've been through some really thick heather, but thankfully we already had a tick remover. When you're removing a tick, you need to make sure you get the head out because that's what leads to an infection in your dog. So the purpose-built tick removers are actually designed so that they can get the head out of the body. That's why these are on the list. Tick removers will be in most pet first aid kits, but you should be able to pick up one of these for just a couple of quid. Number 3 is a microfiber towel. Microfiber towels are ultra absorbent and can absorb up to 3 times as much water as a normal towel. Because let's face it, nobody wants a wet dog jumping in the car. So I normally leave mine in the car for when I get back, just because there's no point drying a dog somewhere when he might get wet again. And also, who wants to be carrying around soaking towels? Number 4 on the list is really 2 items, a collapsible water carrier and a water bowl. This is really for your comfort more than anything. When you're hiking, you've already got a limited amount of space in your bag, but one thing you will need is water for your dog. So a bowl is essential. This one is from Pets at Home, and I can't remember how much I paid for it, but this can be used for food and water and is super convenient because it just folds away. So you've probably seen one of these before. Probably the less well-known item is the collapsible water carrier, and the reason I think this is an essential item is because it takes up much less space in your bag and can be folded down when it's empty. We normally carry water reservoirs and hydro packs for ourselves just because they're more convenient and take up less space in our bags, and the water carrier for the dog is effectively the same thing. The one I showed you is around 16 quid from Roughwear, and that's just for a 1 litre bottle. On to number 5, a backup lead. A lead is one of the essential items that you'll need to take on your walk, but a backup lead is just as important. Because on your walk, you never know what might happen. You might damage or lose your lead, and you're obviously going to need something else to control your dog with. There are times with Moses where I thought I might need a backup lead and didn't have one. So it's one of those things that I always carry with me now just to avoid that anxiety. But whether your dog's fantastic off his lead or not, you should always have one anyway, just because you never know when you're going to come across livestock or across a busy road. So this is why that's made it to the list, because it's one of the things you should always have with you. Last one on the list, number 6, the safety light. This is essential if you're taking your dog on a walk where there'll be poor lighting or it'll be dark, because you want to be able to see your dog right and you'll want others to see them too. So this one is also from Roughwear. It is quite expensive, but it's easily the best in class because it's both waterproof and rechargeable, but will knock you back around 30 quid, but well worth the money if you ask me. That's it for the list of 6 essential items that you should be taking with you when you take your dog hiking. I hope that comes in helpful when you're planning your next hike. In the next video, Moses and I are heading up Snowdon at night time, so make sure you subscribe below so that you don't miss out on that adventure. But until then, take it easy.